Set sail, everyone. Welcome to Nautilus News. Guys, this is just going to be a summarized video of another video that I'm working on. Basically, I'm not going to throw a bunch of maps and proof at you on this one because I'm really working on putting all that together, and it's just a lot to do, a lot to compare, to narrate and everything, but basically what I'm going to be saying in this video is that if you study cartography, uranology, star charts, celestial maps, sky globes, planispheres, stuff like that, I'm saying all maps. All maps are terrestrial land maps. They all represent the earth, the land that we live on, the structure under the sea, everything. These are all land are star constellations. Basically, all the stars, they are God's visual braille, and they tell the biblical story of Earth. If you haven't watched my other videos, I suggest you do. It'll make much clearer the type of things that we're looking at. At least before I get the video to clear it all up of what I am working on. I'm not gonna be able to show you all the main constellations of the zodiac, but I will show you at least, I think, 7 or so, plus maybe a few other constellations. We're just gonna get started in this area because I don't really know where to start. If you've seen my video, The Loki Resonance, you know that I've compared Canada to Lucifer. If you look in the Bible, it says the angels were cast to the earth. What is being cast to something? It means being put to something. So he was set in stone. He was cast to the earth. So I said that this is Lucifer, the fallen angel. Well, I don't know what his constellation name is, but basically, let's just start here. I compared the United States to Fenrir the wolf. Fenrir the wolf, out of Norse mythology. But look, let me make something clear. No matter what religion or mythology you're comparing things to, obviously we all have the same origin. We have the same creator. That's God, and I hope you're praying to Jesus. If you're not familiar with 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1 through 4, please read it. Get to know Jesus. But I am making connections here to other forms of Scripture and letting the whole story be told. So, again, I compared the United States to a wolf. If you come in, you check out the Appalachian Mountains. Obviously, this is a wolf face right here. Here's an eye at Louisville, Kentucky, or whatever. This is a wolf's head. His paw rests below him. And all this back here. As a constellation, I'm saying this is either Canis Major or Ursa Minor. Now, I compared this area here as Hela or Hell, but I'm saying that as a constellation, this is Virgo. Now, like I said, take it upon yourself before I make my video. Google up star charts, just say the constellation star chart of Virgo, compare. Constellation of Canis Major or Ursa Minor, compare it. It's a wolf. Look at the sky globes, whatever you want to look at. They are claimed to be charts of the sky, but they're not. They're charts of the earth. They all even correspond with latitudes and longitude and stuff like that. Now, taking a look at, well, first real quick before I flip it upside down, This constellation here, this big snake, what I called before as Jorgenmonder the snake, the world serpent. This is, I believe, Draco Major. Okay, Greenland, right there. Let's flip this around. What I can't say Lucifer is as a constellation, upside down, all things land can be different things. I'm saying his wings, and in place correctly between Virgo and Orion, which I will show in a second, is Libra, the scale. His wings are the scale. Now, when you come to Alaska, who I had compared as Thor in the past, I want you to compare this land, Alaska, with Orion, the constellation Orion. And after Orion, you get Scorpio. Right here is a scorpion. Coming a little bit closer so you can see it just a little bit better. If you get up close, he's in another video of mine, I believe Titans and Dragons Part 2. This is a scorpion that represents Scorpio. Now, beyond that, let's take a look at Andromeda. Right here, Andromeda. Got kind of the robe area. Get on Google Earth yourself. Take closer looks. This is more or less, like I said, a summary, so I could tell you where things are, where to look. Andromeda is depicted with having on her wrists chains that come off of her wrist there and here. You come up closer. At the end of those chains are like a spike or spearhead, and then something else at the end of the other chain. Next to Andromeda is also, first of all, the Mariana Trench, which is a cobra. The constellation is Hydra. Now, underwater, very hard to see, but you will find next to Andromeda in any star constellation map, Pegasus. Now, if you look close, there is an outline of what appears to be, this is a jawline, a snout, and here's the eye. This is a horse head. This is Pegasus, the constellation, underwater. They all fell on top of each other when they went to war with God, and he cast them down to the earth. They fell among each other. They all kind of blend in as they are today. Here you'll find Pegasus. Let's go to over here. You'll find there are other various maps that depict this area, as many of you seen if you're into mud fossils and stuff, as a big giant right here. This is part of Gemini. Now, I don't know if this head here with this staff and this body, notice the lines of the land, it's like a robe. They were wearing their robes. I don't know if that's the second person of Gemini, or if Gemini is somewhere underwater here right next to the other one. But above this area here, that's Aries, the ram. Below, you've got a pig, just like you see in, like, I don't know, Chinese or Japanese star constellations, the ear of the pig, that type stuff. There's a pig. Let me take a look. In place is Taurus. Give me a sec. Taurus is a little difficult to see, but here would be the snout, Taurus. Here's his headline. Here's one of his horns. So you have Taurus, the head, right here. Now, right below Taurus, you have another dragon-like constellation called Serpens. Serpens. Here you will find Serpens. There's the dragon constellation Serpens. Come over here. You have a he-goat, or possibly Capricorn. Oops. Capricorn or he-goat, whatever, he's a little hard to see. Darn it. But if you look, there are depictions of the he-goat and I have a picture, like I said, I have a lot of pictures I have to show examples and compare to. But they depict the he-goat. He's got a kind of a weird looking nose, and again I will show pictures that will describe and show and compare and confirm what you're looking at. So right here's the eye, and then this line right here is his horn. And even in those depictions, the he-goat is taking a bite. They even include a piece of fruit, which is that little ball area right there, right here. Now, I don't know if this particular dragon head is Draco Minor or what it is. Here's the eye, here's the head, the snout, whatever. That's just another dragon. And then coming over this way, I don't have a constellation to go with this particular one, but I just wanted to point out that this is almost like a sphinx head. Here's the eye, here's the mouth. I have a picture that goes along with this well. I forget what it was called. I do have something to compare this to. It's kind of got that head gear like you see the Egyptians would depict, but also what appears to be depicted by the Egyptians. They always had Anubis. Now, if you consider this like a body area that comes up, and right here is an ear, and then right here's an eye, and a nose, and a mouth. I don't know if this is supposed to be Anubis or what, but right here, where it's supposed to be in its order, is Pisces, the double fish. Here's the eye, mouth line, and this, like I said, right here is one fish. Pisces were supposed to be like lizard fish. Look on any star constellation thing, you'll see them wrapped up. Here's the other fish. Here's the eye, kind of a little gill thing, lizard fish. Now, you come up here, I did a video called Phoenix Found of this bird right here. Here's his head, here's his wing, feathering. Comes down, he's got his foot. Here's this wing right here. And it comes down and it's got feathers. This this constellation right here, which I had referred to as Phoenix in the past, is Cygnus. Compare it to the constellation Cygnus, that's spelled Cygnus. Okay? What else can I show you right here? Aries, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo. Okay, now let's take a look at Leo. In its place, where it should be, is the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is Leo the lion. But in truth, if you look at various other forms of maps and constellation star maps, whatever, I don't believe Leo is an actual lion, and I did another video called Rilo's lion or whatever, first subscriber request. I didn't think it was a lion back then. I still don't. I think it has a lion body though. I'm changing my tune on this. I do believe it is a lion body, but I believe it had the face of a man. I believe this was a manticore. That's an Manticore. United Kingdom is a manticore. Look on other various maps. Very hard to tell. They kind of, it's tough to tell with this digital globe that they manipulated together, but that is Leo nonetheless. I suppose if I had to call out Cancer, I would say that this would be like the body of Cancer. And he has his big claw, one of his big claws here, and the other claw is kind of made up here. Everything's distorted because it's all land decaying, that type of stuff. One thing I will say is very hard to tell, but when you look at Orion on a star chart or a celestial map, whatever, there is a unicorn depicted right next to Orion. Now, if you check out the detail of the white area, consider this the back, the belly, the body, and you come up here, and just as they depict the unicorn, here's his mane or whatever, the hair above, here's a horn, probably, and then an ear, and his face, and his nostrils here, his snout, his eyes here, and then here's his legs spread out forward, just as you would see the unicorn in the star chart. Now, there are more difficult ones to really point out. You're going to have to study this on your own. Oops. But Sagittarius should be in this area. Probably somewhere involved here, unless this is Cepheus or whatever. Okay, I know of at least one more I can show. Oh, well, by the way, okay, now if you look at right here, there's an eye, a big snout coming up. Here's the snout. Here's the mouth. And if you look at these close, they're teeth. I'm thinking this is Ursa Major. These are teeth. Teeth. So on Russia should be, here's the face of Ursa Major. There was also a story. Now again, character names involved can all change depending on whose religion or whose mythology you're going by. So I don't know who exactly, but there was a story of Kronos. Now, Kronos cut off the testicles of his father or whatever with like a sickle. Now here, if you really study this land, again, you're going to have to do this on your own. You can do it at your own proximity and angle. Study the land. But here's the eye area. Here's the head area. Here's some like lips and a nose to the head of what I believe would be, quote unquote, Kronos. Again, please pray to Jesus. This does not contradict your religion. This is just putting things together and understanding why, when things fell, and different people live in different areas around the world, they have different religions or false gods because they'd pray to spirits and they'd pray to land. Well, now that you understand that the land is made up of different beasts, Nephilim, fallen angels, giants, what have you, when they pray to the spirits of the land, they come up with whoever they're awakening on the land that they're praying to, thus forming their false gods. But I call this Kronos here because Kronos, and I have another picture, will confirm this, but this right here was his sickle type weapon depicted with. Not really sure. You see if there's anything else I can point out at the moment that would be easy to do. Okay, I think that is going to be all that I'm going to cover here. But look, they make up the land. This is no doubt. We live on the constellations. They went to war with God. They were cast down to the earth, becoming the land. You know, I hope you have faith in Jesus. You got to have faith in Jesus. That's what's most important. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1 through 4. Get saved, live in repentance. Don't let me draw you away from Jesus. This does not contradict anything. These things are actually in many ways even spoken of in the Bible. You take a look at Daniel, the book of Daniel, talks about the beast with 3 horns. And the horn was, the third horn of the main beast was snapped off. Well, here's a horn. I'm sure there's probably a horn over here somewhere. But this here is Prince Charles Island. Well, Prince Charles Island is the broken third horn of that beast. And that's where Prince Charles likes to lay his head at night. The royal family, they're nobody to be trusted. They know the truth. All this stuff is hidden in their artwork. All the people that hide stuff in artwork, cartography, look up Just So Stories, Rudyard Kipling. This guy puts a lot of stuff in artwork, and they wanted to knight him. Why? Because they knew the artwork he was doing. They depict things, truths, beasts. They put beasts, evil things in their artwork that make you look like they're drawing something of angels or something. But they're not. They're not angels. Maybe there's an angel in the picture, but there are beasts in these pictures. And half the time they are wrapped around the neck of a lamb, killing the lamb, and just study things like Zealandia. Here you see also in Daniel's dream map he saw 4 main beasts. Look at my video of Daniel's dream map. Australia is the chimera on Earth. One way is the dead lamb's head or whatever. It's a lamb's head, no doubt. But on the other side, there's the 4-headed beast that makes it up one way, the lion, and then the bear. And then there's Zealandia, which was the 7-headed dragon. Well, you can look up a picture of, I put something in this also as well in first subscriber request, Rilo's Lion, the video I did about here, where I even show a picture of a book called The Lost Continent of Mu. Well, that had a depiction of a 7-headed serpent. Go figure. As well, they just like to twist other stories. Like you'll see other stories of Middle Earth or Eden, the Garden of Eden. Well, in some cases it's called Meru, M-E-R-U, and then they make that book The Lost Continent of Mu, M-U. They just twist things. Truth is being put in all kinds of stories and movies and make you think that things weren't real, but really Really, it's quite a biblical world, and these stars all around, these constellations, you know, these were how they are. People, when they were charting the land, always knew that there would be land in that area because they knew that these things, through, I don't know, maybe necromancy or whatever, I don't know how they knew exactly, but they were communicating with evil spirits, and or however they came about their information. Could be lost books that were not allowed to read, scripture that was kept out of the canon, I don't know. But either way, they knew that these stars charted the land because they represent the land. And I, you know, I don't want to shortcome Jesus and people's faith, but it's said that truths will be known, poured out on the earth in the last days as a effort to gather souls to bring people to Jesus. And I guess, I was given the truth. I prayed and I received the truth. My eyes were opened, and I'm a little concerned in my ways of going out about giving this truth, but really we've been lied to. And if they say don't practice astronomy or this or that because the devil's manipulated it, well, yeah, that's by way of NASA with all their Freemason astronauts and all that. They don't tell you the truth of the stars. They say we got space out there and a heliocentric model, but this is where I'm trying to unmanipulate it. I'm just trying to expose the lies and tell you guys that these stars are like a visual braille, and they tell a very biblical story. This is what they represent. So, take of it what you will. I'll be doing another video on this, but signing out. Sail on.